It was 3 in the morning when he entered the room, and she was already asleep. She was so exhausted that she didn't even notice Ayan coming in. It was their first night after marriage, but this wedding was nothing like ordinary weddings. For Ayan, this night felt very heavy. He had actually gone to attend someone else's wedding, but fate took such a turn that he himself ended up getting married, and that too with a girl he only had a very casual acquaintance with. It was such a minor connection that if they ever met, he would simply greet her, and she would reply with "Wa alaikum assalam" and move on. While returning from London to India, he had never even imagined that something like this would happen to him. But whatever was meant to happen had already happened, and he was far from happy about it. After watching him for a while, he let out a deep breath and went into the bathroom to change his clothes. He was so mentally exhausted that perhaps a hot shower might give him some relief. Inside the bathroom, the sound of running water began to echo. The constant sound had woken her up. Ayan had definitely arrived, and she had fallen asleep. She sat up abruptly in panic. She herself couldn't understand how, despite all the tension, she had ended up falling asleep. Grandma used to say she was very weak when it came to sleep. She could fall asleep anywhere, anytime. She didn't want to face Ayan, but she had no choice. He was someone who had come from London just a few days ago, and she didn't even truly know what kind of person he was. Every time she had seen him, he always seemed lost in his own world. Oh God, she sighed deeply. As soon as the sound of running water stopped, it felt as if even her breathing had paused. Now he was going to come out, but what would she even say to him? Lost in these thoughts, the bathroom door opened and he entered the room. Seeing her awake, he was taken aback. "Assalamu alaikum." That was all she could manage to say. "Wa alaikum assalam." He replied in a serious tone and sat down on the chair placed in front of him. A deep silence fell between them. "Change your clothes." Ayan broke the silence. "Yes, okay." She could only respond that much, but she still remained seated. What an awkward situation it was. "Look, whatever has happened, has happened. I will try to make sure you don't suffer because of me. But I came from London after promising someone else marriage, and what happened here, you already know everything." He paused for a moment, then said in a serious tone, "Whatever has happened between us is not right. I want you to accept that, for me, you are just a responsibility, and I know how to fulfill my responsibilities. I will always take care of your needs, but don't expect anything more than that from me." He kept speaking, while she sat there like a statue, silently absorbing every word. She knew that perhaps this was how things were meant to be. She could neither blame him nor complain to him. In a difficult time, Ayan had stood like a shield for her. Not everyone can do that. When everyone had stepped 2 steps back, he had taken 1 step forward and held her hand. But after all, she was also just a girl. And he too had his own dreams. While he was saying all this, how could she even ask, "What about my dreams?" He had already made a huge sacrifice, and now perhaps because of her, he would have to sacrifice for a lifetime. He said good night and turned over to sleep, while a storm of fear and thoughts raged in her heart and mind. Nothing in her life had ever gone according to her wish. Sometime after Ayan fell asleep, she too sat there and eventually drifted off. In the depths of sleep, no one knew when Ayan had come so close to her that. When Ayan stepped out of the airport, the city looked exactly the same as he had left it. 2 years don't feel like a long time, and even he himself didn't realize when those 2 years had passed. He hadn't told anyone that he was coming back because he wanted to surprise them all. Taking a cab, he headed towards his home. When the car stopped in front of Khan House, he was stunned. The house was beautifully decorated, lights everywhere, and a festive glow surrounding it. The first person he saw was Farida Begum, who, at first, she kept staring at him in disbelief, then quickly stepped forward and hugged him tightly. Imran Khan, Dadi Jan, and the rest of the family were all overwhelmed with surprise and joy upon seeing him. "You should have told me. I would have sent the car," Imran Khan said, hugging him. "I wanted to give everyone a surprise, Dad." Then, pointing toward the lights around the house, he asked, "But what's all this happening?" "Tomorrow is Inaya's Mendi," Dadi Jan told him, making him sit beside her. Who is Inaya? Oh ho, she's Iqbal Sahib's daughter. She lives within our family. You went abroad and forgot everything, Dadi Jan said lovingly, gently tapping his head. Ayan had truly forgotten her. After all, how could he remember? Even when he was at home, Inaya rarely came in front of him, and no one ever mentioned her on the phone either. Leave it, son. Go freshen up first. You must be tired from the journey, Farida Begum said, helping him stand up. I'll get your clothes pressed and sent to you. Listening to his mother, he nodded slightly and got up from there. He went to his room. He was really exhausted, and the moment he lay down on the bed, he fell into a deep sleep. Respecting his rest, no one disturbed him. After a good 3 hours of sleep, Ayan felt refreshed. After taking a shower and getting ready, he stepped out of the room when he heard voices coming from the drawing room. They must all be there, he thought to himself as he walked inside. The moment he entered the room, everything went silent. What happened? He asked in confusion. Nothing, son, just like that. Tell me, has your tiredness gone? Farida Begum said, quickly changing the topic. Yes, I'm completely fine now, he replied while sitting beside his father. Can I get a cup of coffee? He asked, looking at his mother. Of course, son. You slept without eating anything. I'll get dinner served. No, Ami, just a cup of coffee for now, he gently refused her. Farida Begum called out, Inaya, Assalamu alaikum. She was standing near the drawing room and immediately came forward upon hearing the call. That greeting was surely for Ayan. Wa alaikum assalam. Ayan responded. Ayan looked at her carefully. From anywhere, it didn't seem like it was her Mendi night yesterday. Make a cup of coffee for Ayan, Farida Begum said. Yes, I'll make it right away, Inaya replied immediately. Ayan wanted to say something, but before he could, Farida Begum had already sent her to make the coffee. I cannot fulfill such a ridiculous demand, Imran Khan said angrily. What demand, Dad? Ayan also started listening attentively. Son, we're talking about the wedding, Imran Khan said, letting out a deep sigh. So what's the issue, Dad? Ayan asked. Beta, the people Inaya is getting married into are demanding a car. So what? Just give it to them. Why make such a big deal out of it? Ayan replied. It's not just about the car, Ayan. They never mentioned this before. If they had said it earlier, I might not have refused. But asking for a car just one day before Mendi. I didn't like this at all, Imran Khan said. I already didn't like those people from the beginning. Dadi Jan also spoke for the first time. It's okay, Dadi Jan, don't worry. It's just about a car, what's the harm in giving it? Ayan said, gently patting her hand. It is wrong, Ayan added, looking serious. By the way, what does the boy do? Dadi Jan, does he have a job or something? He asked. Dadi Jan pursed her lips and Ayan looked toward Imran Khan. I don't know much. Your mother arranged the proposal. He must be doing something good, Imran Khan replied, shrugging. Hey, son, why are you getting into all this? I arranged the proposal after proper checking. Leave all this, tell me about yourself. How were your days? Farida Begum quickly changed the topic. Hater, did you talk to the groom's family about the children? Ayan was about to say something when Dadi Jan, looking at Imran Khan, asked this. Ayan looked at Dadi Jan in shock. What do you mean? Whose children? The boy is already married. He even has 3 children, Dadi Jan said plainly. What? Ayan was even more shocked now. The man is a father of 3 and Inaya is getting married to him? At that very moment, Inaya entered the drawing room carrying the coffee tray. Ayan's expression changed after hearing her words. She had come quietly after serving the coffee and just as quietly left the room. Ayan let out a deep breath. He still couldn't understand what was happening here. Farida Begum had already left, changing the topic and going to another room. Inaya, why didn't you refuse this marriage? If you had said no, no one would have been pressured, Dadi Jan said in a firm voice. Ayan, who was walking toward his room, stopped after hearing their conversation. Dadi Jan, this process is not going to stop. If not today, then tomorrow I will have to get married to someone, whoever it may be. Instead of creating tension in the house, it's better that I accept Aunt's decision. She said this while resting her head on Dadi Jan's knees. But it's still too soon. You're only 19. And you said you wanted to complete your studies, Dottie Jan said worriedly. It's okay, Dottie Jan. I'll do it online. After I complete my studies, it won't be a problem. From Inaya's tired voice, Ayan could sense that she was not happy with this marriage, or perhaps she was not satisfied with getting married so early. He came downstairs and found his mother watching TV. Amy, by the way, why was there such a hurry to get Inaya married? He asked casually, without giving it much attention. Why? What happened? Did someone say something? Farida Begum immediately became alert. No, Amy, nothing like that. I was just thinking. Nowadays, even in Western countries, people are getting married late, he said. Son, there's a big difference between there and here. Besides, Inaya is a responsibility. The sooner it is done, the better it is to fulfill that responsibility, she replied. Ayan did not agree with her, but he said nothing. He was used to minding his own business. However, from Inaya's words, he could sense that she was not happy. He assumed that Imran Khan must have agreed to the proposal after asking her. If there had been any major issue, he would definitely have. She would have refused. For some reason, Ayan had started thinking deeply about her. The Mendi function had already started. For the first time, Ayan saw the man who was quite older in age and whose family's behavior also seemed strange to him. Ayan could not understand at all on what basis this relationship had been arranged. He went and sat beside Dottie Jan. Dottie Jan, I don't understand this proposal at all, he said in a low voice. It was your mother's insistence. What could we do? On top of that, Inaya also agreed, so I had to stay quiet, she replied, looking a bit tired. Ayan looked at Inaya sitting on the stage from a distance. There was that beautiful, small, innocent girl, and next to her sat that much older man. Ayan started feeling very uneasy, and at the same time, he also felt angry at Inaya. What compulsion made her agree to marry this man? It was decided that on the Mendi day itself, the Nikah ceremony would take place, and the next day would be the Rukhsati. And then Imran Khan. They were sitting among the guests when Ayan tried to look for his mother. She was sitting with the groom's family, and it seemed like some argument was going on. Ayan could easily judge the situation from her expression. Farida Begum then got up, controlling her anger, and walked toward Imran Khan. She whispered something in his ear and took him aside. Ayan quietly followed them. They are saying that before the Nikah, they want a good house registered in the girl's name. Ayan overheard his mother's words. Imran Khan's anger flared instantly. Where did you even find this proposal? The Nikah is about to happen, and now they are making new demands. I didn't know they would be like this, Farida Begum said softly. If you didn't know, then you should have thought before fixing such a relationship. You should have considered what kind of people they are, he replied, still furious. Let's do one thing, Imran Khan said after thinking for a moment. That house which belongs to Iqbal Sahib, transfer it to Inaya's name. Yes, transfer it to the boy's name. After all, Inaya will live there anyway, she replied casually. Ayan couldn't believe what he had just heard. Okay, and what if tomorrow they ask for a factory as well, or even demand our own factory? Then what will we do? The one who was secretly listening to the conversation suddenly stepped forward. What are you doing here? Go and look after the guests. We will handle the matter. Farida Begum stopped him. Ayan nodded. I don't think this proposal is right for our family, he said, ignoring his mother's words and speaking to his father. But son, at this point, what can we even say? Imran Khan also looked clearly worried. This is a matter of our family's honor. Dad, such relationships later become a burden around the neck. You should clearly refuse. There is no need to fulfill any of their demands, he said firmly. It doesn't work like that, Ayan. There are so many guests here, it will turn into a scene. No scene will be created. Just tell them everything clearly, he insisted. It's better not to have a relationship with people whose thinking is so cheap, people who have no sense of manners or respect. Imran Khan took a deep breath. What I'm saying is already too much. I'll talk to them myself. Farida Begum raised her hand sharply, trying to stop him. Ayan silently nodded in agreement, while Farida Begum kept biting her lip in frustration. And then exactly what they feared happened. The moment Imran Khan refused their demand, the groom immediately became upset and started acting offended. The atmosphere on the stage turned tense. It was only because of my son's decency that we even brought the wedding procession here. Otherwise, who would marry a girl without parents? The woman said rudely. Thank you for your great favor. My daughter is not a burden on me. You may leave now, Imran Khan replied politely, though his voice was firm. Yes, we are leaving. It's not like we were eager to bring the Barrett anyway. If Farida Begum hadn't begged us, we would never have come. Who knows what flaw the girl has that you're so desperate to marry her off to my son? She kept spitting venom with her words, and Imran Khan looked at his wife in shock, while she turned her face away uncomfortably. There is no flaw in my daughter. She is pure. Please leave this place respectfully, Imran Khan said sternly. We don't care. Yes, we're leaving. Keep your girl with yourselves. If she's really that good, then why don't you marry her to your own son? Why waste our time? This time, the words struck exactly where they were meant to. Imran Khan glanced once at his son, whose eyes were fixed on the young girl sitting there with tears in her eyes and her head lowered. That is exactly what will happen. Everyone was stunned by Imran Khan's sudden words. Even Ayan was speechless for a few moments. But he could never go against his father's decision. What are you saying? Ayan and Inaya. Farida Begum exclaimed in shock. Why? What is wrong with that? He replied with a frown. And why are you people still standing here? You may leave now, because in a little while, my son will marry Inaya. Imran Khan spoke with firm determination, leaving no room for further argument. Inaya Iqbal bint Muhammad Iqbal, your nikah is being performed with Ayan bin Imran Khan with a mahr of 20 lakh rupees. Do you accept this nikah? Her eyes were filled with tears, and her body was trembling. She looked like a helpless creature being handed from one person to another. She had no choice to refuse before, and she had no choice now either. I accept. The moment those words left her lips, everyone raised their hands in prayer. Farida Begum looked at Inaya with hatred. After doing so much just to get rid of her, now she would remain in front of them forever. Dinner was served to all the guests. Seeing his son standing alone, Imran Khan walked over to him. You're not upset with me, are you? He asked while holding his son's hand. Why would you think that, Dad? Ayan replied, pushing all his thoughts aside as he looked at him. I don't know. I'm scared that maybe I wronged both you and Inaya. I got you married without either of your consent. He finally spoke what was in his heart. Dad, if I had any objection, I wouldn't have said I accept, Ayan replied with a smile, easing the burden on his father's heart. May you always stay happy, son. I truly believe that Inaya will prove to be a wonderful life partner for you. She is a very sensible and kind girl. May Allah bless both of you with happiness. Amin. He kept giving his blessings, and Ayan smiled because his father was happy. It was 3 in the morning when he entered the room. She was already asleep. She was so exhausted that she didn't even realize when Ayan entered the room. Tonight was their first wedding night, but this marriage was nothing like an ordinary one. For Ayan, the night felt unbearably heavy. He had gone there to attend someone else's wedding, yet somehow ended up getting married himself, and that too to a girl with whom he had only the most ordinary connection. Ordinary was hardly the right word. Whenever they happened to cross paths, he would greet her with a salam, and she would quietly reply, wa alaikum assalam, before moving on. While returning from London to India, he had never imagined what was about to happen to him there. But what was destined to happen had already happened, and he was not happy about it at all. After watching her for a while, he let out a deep breath and went into the bathroom to change his clothes. He was mentally so exhausted that perhaps a hot shower might give him some peace. The constant sound of running water from the bathroom suddenly brought her back to her senses. Ayan had definitely arrived. He was asleep, and she had been lying there asleep as well. Suddenly, she jolted upright in panic. She herself couldn't understand how, despite all the stress, she had managed to fall asleep. Dottie Jan was right. When it came to sleep, she was truly helpless. She could fall asleep anywhere, anytime. She didn't want to face Ayan, but there was no other choice. He was someone who had arrived from London only a few days ago, and she didn't even know what kind of person he really was. Whenever he had come before her, he always seemed lost in his own thoughts. Oh God. She let out a deep breath. As soon as the sound of running water stopped, it felt as though her own breathing had stopped too. Now he was about to come out, and what was she even going to say to him? Lost in these thoughts, the bathroom door opened and he walked into the room. Seeing her awake, he looked startled. Assalamu alaikum. That was all she could manage to say. Wa alaikum assalam. He replied in a serious tone and sat down on the chair in front of her. A deep silence spread between them. You should change your clothes. Ayan finally broke the silence. Yes. Okay, she replied softly, yet remained sitting there in silence. What a strange situation it was. Look, whatever has happened, has happened. I will try my best not to let you suffer because of me. But before coming here from London, I had already promised someone else that I would marry her, and you know everything that happened afterward. What happened to both of us was not right. I want. He paused for a few moments, then spoke in a serious tone. I want you to accept that, for me, you are only a responsibility, and I know how to fulfill my responsibilities. I will always take care of your needs, but don't expect anything more from me than that. He kept speaking while she sat there silently like a statue, listening to every word. She knew that perhaps this was how things were meant to be. She could neither blame him nor complain to him. In difficult times, Ayan had stood like a shield for her. Not everyone could have done that. When everyone else had stepped 2 steps back, he was the one who stepped forward and held her hand. But even then, she was still just a girl, and she had dreams too. While he was saying all this, how could she possibly ask, "What about my dreams?" He had already made a huge sacrifice, and now perhaps because of her, he would have to keep sacrificing for the rest of his life. After saying goodnight to her, he turned away and went to sleep. A storm of fear and thoughts raged inside her, shaking her from within. Nothing in life had ever happened according to her wishes. Lost in deep sleep, Ayan had unknowingly moved so close to her that the fragrance of her body suddenly startled him. The kohl in her eyes had smudged with her tears. She had cried herself to sleep, her makeup was ruined, yet she still looked beautiful. That innocent face drowned in sleep, the heavy bridal dress slightly slipping from her shoulder. He found himself staring at her helplessly, then quickly looked away. Perhaps every girl who cries herself to sleep somehow looks beautiful. He couldn't understand anything anymore. There was nothing he could do. Love was not something that could be forced by will. He had only returned here for a few days, and now he had become trapped in a relationship he had never even imagined in his dreams. Perhaps the mistake was his own. If he had not interfered in the matter, none of this would have happened. But he was helpless against his own nature. He had grown up in an environment where staying silent against injustice was never taught. Ayan Khan, what are you going to do now? Looking at his own reflection, he asked himself quietly. The girl sleeping beside him was now his wife. And in just a few days, he also had a return flight back. He let out a deep breath. He felt regret, but what else could he have done? Everything had happened so suddenly that even he himself was shocked, and at that moment, this was the only answer he had. Suddenly, she turned in her sleep and placed her arm beneath her head. Ayan glanced at her once. He was craving a cigarette badly, but she had unknowingly wrapped herself around his arm. Even if he wanted to, he couldn't pull his arm away. Leaving her like that, he finally closed his eyes as well. When she woke up in the morning, she realized that she was holding onto Ayan's arm. Immediately, she moved back in panic. She herself couldn't understand how she had fallen asleep like that. Ever since childhood, she had slept beside Dottie Jan, and holding onto her arm while sleeping had become her habit. Now she had no idea what he must be thinking about her. Lost in these thoughts, she heard a soft knock on the door, and Ayan woke up as well. Wake up, everyone will be at the breakfast table in a little while. Farida Begum's voice came from outside. Ayan glanced at her once and silently walked into the bathroom. 5 minutes later, he was getting ready in front of the mirror. She was waiting for him to leave the room. Sorry, I was a little too harsh last night. She was lost in her thoughts when his voice suddenly broke the silence. "It's okay." That was all she could manage to say. "Get ready, everyone downstairs is waiting for us." At that moment, Ayan was speaking very gently. "I'll have breakfast here." She was clearly afraid to face everyone outside. He kept looking at her for a few moments. "Okay, as you wish." He walked out of the room, leaving her alone there, with her thoughts and the embarrassment of last night. She couldn't understand how she was supposed to face everyone. She knew that in this house, she seemed completely out of place. Ayan's mother, Farida Begum, had never agreed to this relationship that had been formed within just a few moments. In such a situation, she couldn't even expect good behavior from anyone. Taking a deep breath, she surrendered herself to the flow of time and got up to change her clothes. "Where is Inaya?" Ayan had just sat down at the breakfast table when Dottie Jan asked. "She'll have breakfast in her room," Ayan replied. Dottie Jan glared at him and called out to the maid, "Go and bring Inaya here." The whole family has breakfast together, and now she is a part of this family too. Perhaps Dottie Jan was saying all this deliberately for Farida Begum to hear, who silently shifted uncomfortably in her chair. "Come, dear, sit beside Ayan." Inaya, who was about to sit next to Dottie Jan, paused for a moment. Ayan gave no reaction. Dottie Jan had spoken calmly, but several expressions changed across Farida Begum's face at once. Unwillingly, Inaya sat down on the chair beside Ayan. As soon as Imran Khan arrived, breakfast was served. "So what's the plan, Ayan?" "After the walima today, decide about the honeymoon," Dottie Jan said lovingly while having breakfast. Ayan's hands paused, and Inaya didn't even know what to say. "I haven't planned anything yet. I have some important work," Ayan replied simply. "What do you mean, no plan?" Dottie Jan immediately responded. "Inaya is my dear Iqbal brother's memory. I don't want any of her wishes to remain unfulfilled." Ayan is right. Farida Begum also couldn't stay silent this time. "What am I even saying?" Dottie Jan ignored her completely. Ayan glanced at Inaya once. "Wherever she wants to go, we'll go there." He left the decision to her. Inaya immediately became nervous. "Speak up, dear." Dottie Jan now turned to her. "It's not like we can just send her on a honeymoon immediately," she added. Inaya didn't understand what to say. "You can go after a few days. There's no rush. Let the walima happen today first, then we'll see." Imran Khan finally spoke for the first time. Inaya silently thanked God from her heart. Imran Khan was, in fact, a very wise and kind-hearted man. Inaya had already started considering him like a father. When all of this had happened, it was Imran Khan who had shown no hesitation in accepting her. After her mother passed away, and then her father, he was the only one who took care of her in every possible way. Dottie Jan nodded. "All right, no problem. I was just asking. Ayan, whenever you get free, visit the office as well. There is some work I need your help with. Your studies are completed, so while you are here, take care of some important matters," Imran Khan said while finishing his breakfast, looking at Ayan. "I'll come, Dad." "Don't worry," Ayan replied. Imran Khan stood up, gave a light pat on Ayan's shoulder, and left. He had to oversee all the arrangements for the walima today. Meanwhile, Inaya had already stood up from the breakfast table before Ayan. After the simple walima ceremony, everyone returned home, and Ayan went to visit one of his friends. In the evening, a light drizzle began to fall over the city of Lucknow. Lucknow and rain, both were Inaya's weakness. Whatever had been happening in her life, this weather became a rare source of comfort for her. Behind Ayan's room, there was a small garden and a swing, which she saw for the first time. She sat on the swing and slowly began to sway in the rain, unaware that Ayan had just returned and was watching her from a distance. Her rain-soaked clothes clung to her frame, and her wet hair touched the side of her neck. Ayan felt an unfamiliar stir inside him. He had to admit it, she really was beautiful. He had been in the same confusion since yesterday. How was he supposed to carry this relationship forward? He was not the kind of man who would punish a woman for a mistake that wasn't even hers. This softness in him, in fact, was inherited from Imran Khan. He wanted something that would not hurt anyone. At the same time, he had also realized that his mother, Farida Begum, did not treat Inaya well, and he knew her stubbornness was not easy to change. Because of Imran Khan, Ayan, and even Dadi Jan, she remained silent, but this silence felt like the calm before a storm. He knew better than to expect much ease from them. When Inaya entered the room, Ayan was already lying on the bed. He had just returned. After the walima, he had gone out during the day and came back late at night. He had spent the entire day with his old friends. "Should I bring food for you?" Trying to avoid his gaze, she quickly added, "Dadi Jan told me to ask you." She spoke in a confused tone, and to Ayan, she looked like a small, innocent child. "If Dadi Jan hadn't told you, would you not have asked?" Ayan said this while shifting his gaze from his mobile to her. "No. I mean, I would have asked," she replied immediately. "Why are you so scared and hesitant?" "I accept that I married you without your consent and without even asking you, but I'm not such a bad person that you should be afraid of me like a goat." "No, it's not like that," she quickly tried to clarify. "Should I go?" she asked hesitantly, seeking permission. "Go where?" "Out of the room, and you haven't eaten anything either." Ayan let out a soft laugh. She looked at him in surprise. "All right, bring 2 cups of coffee." "Why 2? You're only one person." Her innocence made Ayan smile unconsciously. "Now we are 2. Bring 2 cups." "Yes, okay." She walked out of the room without asking anything else. For Ayan, her fear felt strange. Where he came from, girls were usually confident and outspoken, not this quiet, scared kind. What is her problem? He started thinking about Inaya. After a while, she came back with the coffee, handed him a cup, and quietly sat on the other side of the bed. "So, what have you decided? What are your future plans?" Ayan asked casually. "Huh." She looked at him, confused. "I mean, what do you want to do in life?" he clarified. "I don't have any plans," she replied immediately. Ayan looked at her in surprise. Maybe she truly hadn't thought about it, or maybe she just didn't want to say. He felt like teasing her a little, so with a straight face he said, "Okay. So what's your plan about children?" "Which children?" She looked at him worriedly. "Now that we are married, everyone will start asking about the good news," Ayan said, keeping a serious expression. "Astaghfirullah, what kind of things are you saying?" Her face turned red. Ayan somehow managed to hold back his laughter. "Then who should I talk to about these things?" Her face turned even redder. "Think about it and tell me later," Ayan said, picking up his mobile. She quickly picked up her cup with a red face and left the room. Ayan kept smiling at her reaction. Inaya was lost in her dreams, resting her cheek on her hand. A strand of her open hair fell on her face and lightly touched her lips. Ayan, whose eyes had just opened from sleep, stopped for a moment, seeing her unknowingly so close to him. Her gaze slowly moved across his face, then his lips, and then his neck, but she quickly stopped herself and looked away. He was gently moving a strand of hair away from her face when suddenly Inaya opened her eyes and let out a loud scream. Ayan immediately pulled back, but Inaya panicked so much that she kept screaming without stopping. Helpless, Ayan stepped forward and covered her mouth with his hand. "What's wrong with you? Have you gone crazy?" Ayan said in panic. "Everyone must be asleep. You're screaming like some disaster has happened," he said angrily. "What were you trying to do with me?" Inaya quickly pushed his hand away from her lips. "I wasn't doing anything." "You were." "What was I doing?" Ayan looked straight into her eyes, which were slightly red from sleep. "Ya Allah," he stopped himself. "You were, with me." She hesitated mid-sentence. "Yes, go on," he said seriously. "You mean, with me?" "Move away from me, and please sleep on the other side," she said, still half asleep. "By the way, let me tell you, I didn't come to you. You came to this side," Ayan said with a slight smile. "No," she immediately replied. "Yes," he insisted, not accepting her denial. "What's your problem?" She swayed slightly with sleepiness. "My problem is that you snore a lot. It sounds like a railway engine has entered the room," Ayan said. Then he changed the topic again. "By the way, do you really have big eyes?" Her eyes widened in surprise. "Oh, Ayan." Ayan sighed. "This girl doesn't even understand jokes." Inaya became a little embarrassed. She really was very innocent. Go to sleep, Ayan said, and shifted a little away to lie down. Will you stop staring at me? Ayan asked, closing his eyes, sensing she was still looking at him. You sleep, I'll also sleep, she replied. Ayan opened his eyes and looked at her. Do you think if you sleep, I'll do something to you? He asked, trying to read her thoughts. Anaya's face immediately turned red. No, I didn't say that, she said, lowering her gaze. You didn't say it, but you thought it, didn't you? He insisted. No, she snapped. I can do anything like that with you even while you're awake. He immediately sat up. What do you mean by that? She asked, suddenly nervous. Is the room locked? Ayan asked. Inaya quickly looked at him first, then toward the door in panic. Ayan felt she might actually run toward the door, so he burst out laughing. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything. My taste isn't that bad, Ayan said on purpose, aiming his words like an arrow. What do you mean by that? She asked, slightly offended. I mean, Ayan paused. I am a big fan of beautiful faces. I was just joking with you. You don't need to be afraid of me. His tone softened so much that all her fear slowly faded away. Are you calling me ugly? She asked, biting her lip. No, I didn't say that, he immediately denied. You didn't need to say it. That's what you meant, she said, sulking. Wait, what do you mean? Was I right? He asked, genuinely surprised. No meaning at all. Just sleep, Ayan said, barely holding back his smile. She just kept staring at him. Ayan closed his eyes, knowing very well she was still looking at him. For some reason, teasing Inaya had started to feel strangely enjoyable to him. Ayan opened his eyes and saw Inaya standing in front of the mirror, combing her wet hair. Her black silky hair and a small mole on her neck, he kept watching her quietly. She was the same girl whose marriage was supposed to happen with someone else, but at the very last moment, everything changed. When she was still in school, her parents had passed away in a train accident. With time, Ayan had seen her grow up from a distance. He was in boarding school, then mostly in hostel during college and university, and later he went abroad. So between them, there had always been only a casual, distant connection. Watching her, Ayan thought, she was a strong girl, fighting through countless hardships and pain in life. When she started tying her hair, Ayan suddenly spoke. Leave your hair open. She turned around with a slightly annoyed expression and immediately covered her head with her dupatta. Ayan sat up straight on the bed and looked at her. It seems like you don't consider me your husband. Inaya looked at him. It's not like that, she replied softly. Then it feels like I'm some wrong person, someone you're afraid of, like I might do something to you, Ayan said seriously. Ayan didn't like her tone, so his voice became a little firmer. Actually, I feel shy, she said, lowering her gaze. You are a strong girl, Inaya, and I respect that strength of yours. I respect you, so don't sit in front of me like a scared, downcast creature, Ayan said calmly. Inaya slowly lifted her head and looked at him. For the first time, someone had praised her like this. She was already exhausted from fighting life, losing her loved ones, and then getting hurt by those who were supposed to protect her. Such wounds don't heal easily. There may not be love between us, but there is a relationship of respect. It will take time for both of us to accept it. But I, Ayan Khan, believe in honesty in relationships. From my side, he paused for a moment and continued in a softer voice. There are no restrictions on you. You can live your life the way you want. I will support you. I know it's difficult, but sometimes life doesn't go according to our wishes. You have to learn how to be happy. He spoke gently, in a calm and steady tone. Inaya respected Ayan, but after hearing his words today, she also felt a sense of gratitude in her heart. Ayan got up from the bed and took 2 steps forward, stopping right in front of her. Standing so close made Inaya's breathing uneven. You shouldn't be afraid of me, girl. Yes, she stammered. Ayan gave a faint smile. Strong people don't look away, they look straight into the eyes and talk. He said this while noticing her lowered gaze. Hearing him, Inaya slowly lifted her eyes and looked at him. Thank you, she managed to say. Welcome, he smiled and walked toward the bathroom. Inaya took a deep breath. Later, when Ayan came back from outside, he was shocked to see his mother shouting at Inaya. Seeing her son, Farida Begum immediately fell silent. Ayan looked at his mother, then at Inaya. "What is going on here?" He stepped beside Inaya. "Nothing, son, just like that. When did you come?" Farida Begum tried to change the topic. "Mother, how can you shout at Inaya like this?" Ayan said in a strict tone. He added, "She is this house's daughter-in-law. You are talking to her as if she has committed some huge crime." His voice grew a little heavy. "Nothing. I was just a little upset," Inaya quickly interrupted, trying to end the matter. "Even if someone makes a mistake, I don't like anyone being shouted at like this, especially in front of the servants," he said, looking visibly hurt and disappointed. "So now you don't even like your mother's words?" "It's not like that, Mom. I just didn't like it. And if anyone misbehaves with my wife..." He suddenly stopped mid-sentence, turned toward Inaya, grabbed her hand, and pulled her into the room. Farida Begum stood there burning silently with anger. "What is your problem? Will you just keep listening to whatever anyone says?" Ayan shouted at Inaya as soon as they entered the room. "She is the elder of the house, Ayan," Inaya tried to say softly. "She can scold you," she added, but Ayan grabbed her wrist and pulled her closer. "It's not about that. It's about knowing when and where to speak. How will you survive in life like this, Yar?" His tone was angry, but his words carried concern. Inaya stayed silent. She was used to such treatment. This was nothing new for her. What was new, perhaps, was that for the first time someone had stood up for her. At that moment, she felt very nervous because of his closeness. "Stand up for yourself, otherwise I have many ways to fix your attitude," he said in frustration, softly letting go of her and walking toward the bed. He was taking off his jacket, standing there, while she sat on the bed with her head lowered and hands folded. Ayan kept looking at her for a moment, then came closer and sat beside her, taking her hand. With soft eyes, he said, "Inaya, listen, the world doesn't really care about you. Not your happiness, not your pain. I've accepted your responsibility, so it's my duty to take care of you. But I won't always be there everywhere. You need to learn to speak up for yourself and fight for your rights. Otherwise, the world will just trample over you and move on. And trust me, no one will care. Understand this." He was speaking gently. Inaya didn't even realize when tears started rolling down her eyes. "Hey," he got worried. "What happened, Yar? Be strong. Don't cry like this." He wiped the corners of her eyes with his thumb. "I don't know how to fight in front of relationships," Inaya said softly. Ayan sighed deeply. "Don't fight. Just learn to protect yourself. That's enough." He patted her hand gently and looked at her. "Now come on. Stop crying. Wipe your tears and change your clothes. We're going out," he said, standing up. Inaya looked at him in surprise. "Out? At this time?" "Yes, just come." "But Ani said I should help in the kitchen." "I'll tell her, don't worry." She wanted to refuse, but for some reason she couldn't. He took her to a good hotel in Lahore. While ordering food, he kept watching Inaya, whose face was glowing with happiness. They were sitting in an open area. She was feeling the cool breeze and smiling as if she was outside for the first time in her life. "Do you like it?" he asked softly, leaning slightly toward her. "Very much," Inaya said with a soft smile. "Ayan, you know I have loved Lahore since childhood. When I was little, my mother used to tell me stories about Lahore. I always wanted to explore the whole city, see every place, but when my parents passed away and I came here, all those wishes died. Nothing was left, everything kept fading away." For the first time, she was sharing her heart with Ayan. Ayan placed his hand over hers, and she flinched slightly in surprise. "I can't promise anything, but I can say this much. I will try my best to make your life easier," he said sincerely, without any pretense. They were lost in that moment when the waiter brought their food. They quickly pulled their hands back, smiling awkwardly. In a pleasant atmosphere, they had their meal, and he made her feel genuinely happy that day before returning home. "Listen," Inaya called out just as he was about to lie down to sleep. "Yes, tell me," he replied in the same calm tone. "Can I sleep on the sofa? You get disturbed because of me at night." She was still stuck on the snoring incident from the previous night. "When did I say I get disturbed?" he said, trying to hide his smile. You can't sleep properly, right? She asked. Inaya, just quietly come to the bed. I didn't get married to sleep far away from you, he said, pointing toward the bed. But there will still be distance between us always, she said, for some reason. Why are you thinking like this? Why would there be distance between husband and wife? He said, getting up and coming closer to her, trying to understand what was going on in her heart. You came with a promise to someone in London so naturally. Closeness belongs to the one who is truly yours, she said, something much deeper than she usually dared to say. A few moments of silence fell between them. What do you want? Should I fulfill that promise? He asked, coming very close to her. What difference does it make whether I want it or not? She said, looking away. What will wanting change? He kept moving closer. A lot. She kept stepping back until she suddenly lost her balance and fell onto the sofa. Ayan immediately placed his hands on both sides of her, caging her in. If I had made any such promise, Inaya, I would never have married you. I only confused you. And if that were true, why would I even talk about children with you? Children? She stopped again at the mention of children. Ayan smiled slightly. I am very fond of children, tiny little ones, some here, some there, one on my shoulder, one in your lap, the whole room filled with children, he said excitedly, looking around the room as if imagining it. I can't have that many children, and who will take care of them? She said, smiling a little after listening to him. You just give birth to them. I'll take care of everything, he said, placing his hand around her waist and pulling her gently towards him. What are you doing? Let me go, she said, getting nervous. Yar, if we stay far away, how will we have children? We need to come a little closer, he said with a smile, slowly moving to adjust her dupatta. No, not now. I'm still a child myself, she said, panicking. Oh, a child? Even at 19? He said, touching her soft pink cheeks and lightly biting them in a playful manner. Do children come by biting like this that you're doing it so much, she said, frowning. Ayan burst out laughing. Are you making fun of me? She said angrily. Ayan suddenly pulled her into his arms. She looked at him, startled and nervous. Why are you so scared? He gently brought her to the bed and placed her head on the pillow, leaning slightly closer to her face. Her eyes looked heavy with sleep and anxiety. I'm scared of your eyes, she said softly, covering his eyes with her hand. Ayan paused for a moment, then gently removed her hand without hurting her. Then don't be scared, he said in a low, calmer voice. I'm not going to hurt you. She looked at him nervously, still unsure. He noticed her fear immediately and shifted a little away to give her space. I was just joking before, he said more softly now. You don't need to be afraid of me, Inaya. His tone had completely changed. No teasing now, only calm seriousness. Inaya slowly tried to steady her breathing, her fear fading bit by bit as silence settled between them. Ayan suddenly laughed at her reaction and then moved to the other side of the bed and lay down. He switched off the light, and the room was filled with a soft darkness and silence. Don't worry, I don't like forcing things. I just wanted you to feel comfortable. That's all, he said softly, glancing toward her. What kind of comfort was that? She asked in surprise, turning slightly toward him. In these few days, she had started seeing him differently. Earlier, he seemed arrogant to her, but now he felt completely different from what she had imagined. Oh, come on. These little jokes are normal. A husband does have the right to tease his wife a little. It keeps things light, otherwise I'll get too stressed, he said casually. Suddenly, he gently pulled her closer by her waist. Inaya flinched again. Inaya, this is your last warning, he said in a serious tone, lightly touching his forehead to hers. If you keep holding your breath over small things, I'll really have to teach you how to breathe properly. Her heart started beating faster. She was taking small breaths, as if trying to reassure herself that she was okay. Take a deep breath, he said softly, leaning a little closer. Inaya stiffened, startled by the closeness. Ayan immediately noticed her reaction and gently shifted back, loosening his hold so she could breathe properly. Relax, he said in a calmer tone, guiding her to steady her breathing. Slowly, her heartbeat began to settle as she rested against his chest, feeling the warmth of his presence. Ayan placed a light, protective arm around her, this time keeping distance and care in mind. "You okay now?" he asked quietly. She nodded slightly, still shy and overwhelmed. After a moment of silence, she spoke in a soft, almost complaining tone, trying to lighten the moment. "You really enjoy teasing me, don't you?" Ayan let out a small laugh. Maybe a little too much. Despite everything, a faint smile appeared on her face. She slowly closed her eyes, feeling safer now than before, and tried to sleep while the room returned to quiet stillness. Later, when their honeymoon plans were being made, Inaya became a little upset. Ayan wanted to take her around the world, at least to London and Paris, but she chose the nearby cities around Lucknow first. She wanted to explore all of India before going anywhere abroad. On the other hand, Farida Begum tried many times to create obstacles in their way, but Ayan didn't listen to a single word. Taking Inaya with him, he left for Mussoorie. From Lucknow, they traveled by air to Delhi/Dehradun, and from there continued their journey toward Mussoorie by car. The car moved steadily along the winding mountain roads of Mussoorie. Inaya sat by the window, admiring the breathtaking scenery outside. Every now and then, Ayan would glance at her before focusing back on the road. They had left early in the morning, and now the afternoon was slowly fading away. After stopping for lunch on the way, they resumed their journey. Beauty surrounded them everywhere, and perhaps so did companionship. The road ran alongside the river, while snow-covered mountains occasionally appeared through the distance before disappearing again behind the hills. Before darkness fully settled, they finally reached the guest house. Both of them were exhausted after the long day of travel. As the sun set, the cold air grew sharper. Ayan lit wood in the fireplace, while Inaya went to change her clothes. He stood near the window, looking outside where the fog was slowly spreading through the mountains, clearly visible beneath the glowing lights. Inaya quietly came and sat beside Ayan. He was busy on his phone, while she had already settled next to him. Between them, there was only the soft crackling sound of burning wood. Both of them were feeling strangely restless. For the first time, neither of them spoke. Ayan looked at Inaya deeply. In the glow of the fire, her face was shining beautifully. His gaze slowly drifted from her neck downward, but he immediately controlled himself. "This is going to become very difficult. Ayan, control yourself," he told himself silently. He was craving coffee badly, so to distract himself, he focused on that instead. Otherwise, tonight he was finding it hard to control his emotions. He had already brought coffee supplies from the car earlier that morning. Inaya quickly made coffee and brought it to him. "This place is so beautiful," she said softly while handing him the cup, looking outside the window where lights flickered through the fog like tiny lamps. "Yeah, it really is," Ayan replied gently, taking a sip of coffee. "A moment that holds peace feels so beautiful," she whispered. The crackling wood, the spreading fog, the strange coldness in the air. The guest house was far away from the city, so an unusual silence surrounded everything. She had been exhausted all day, so she went to bed quite early, while Ayan kept looking at her, smiling to himself, lost in his own thoughts. Late at night, no one knew what hour of the night it was when Ayan felt a soft and delicate body resting against his chest. He had been sensing it for quite some time, but his deep sleep refused to break. When he finally opened his eyes, he saw that Inaya was lying more than halfway over him, her arms wrapped around him tightly. Swallowing hard at such closeness, Ayan looked at her quietly. How can someone be this beautiful? He ran his fingers through her hair, brushing it back as he lost himself in her delicate features. Caught somewhere between sleep and emotion, Ayan kept trying to control himself. Inaya, in her half-asleep state, offered a faint resistance, but eventually they both became completely lost in that moment. Time passed and the night ended with a new feeling between them. When they returned from their honeymoon, both of them looked happy and content. When they had left, they were almost strangers to each other, but when they came back, it felt as though they had become two bodies with one soul. And that was exactly what Farida Begum had never wanted. But who can change the decisions of fate? She was standing in the kitchen making kheer when Farida Begum came and stood behind her. Without letting her notice, She moved Inaya's dupatta close to the stove flame and immediately walked out. Inaya remained busy making the kheer when suddenly her dupatta caught fire. Before the flames could reach her hair, Allah sent Ayan there. "Inaya!" Ayan shouted loudly. At that very moment, she turned around, and Ayan quickly pulled the dupatta away from her neck and threw it aside, burning his own palm in the process. Inaya rushed toward him in panic. "Ayan!" Her eyes filled with tears as she looked at his hand. "Are you okay?" Ayan pulled his hand back and looked at her. Seeing her face and the worry in her eyes, he fell silent for a moment before pulling her into his chest. With his eyes closed, he silently thanked Allah from the bottom of his heart. He could not even imagine what might have happened if he had not arrived there in time. "Oh, dear Nian Beta, how did you get here? And how did this dupatta catch fire?" Farida Begum said as she entered, pretending to be shocked and concerned. "Ani, I don't know, but suddenly caught fire. Please, Ayan, come with me. I'll put some medicine on your hand," Inaya said anxiously. "Oh God, I'm ruined. What has happened to my son?" Farida Begum rushed toward Ayan. "Oh no, my son's hand has been burned. What an unfortunate girl you are." "Ami," Ayan stopped her in a firm voice. "It's not her fault." "It is. I always knew she was unlucky. First, she lost her parents. Then on the wedding day, she destroyed her own relationship, and now you too." Every word pierced Inaya's heart like an arrow. "Ami, for God's sake, don't say such things. Even saying the word unlucky is wrong. I don't believe in these things." "And as for Inaya," Ayan said sternly. He paused for a moment, then spoke with complete seriousness. "For me, if she is anything, then she is my good fortune. She is my life, my reason for living, the mother of my future children, the one who will carry my bloodline and this family's legacy forward. She is my entire world." Each and every word shook Farida Begum to her core. "Inaya is pregnant," she whispered in shock. "That means I'm going to become a grandmother?" She stood there frozen in silence. Holding Inaya's hand, Ayan led her out of the kitchen. Farida Begum remained standing behind them, and for the first time, regret and silence appeared on her. "Oh, Allah, thank you that I did not commit such a terrible mistake. Inaya is safe, and so is my grandson. If anything had happened to them, I would never have been able to forgive myself." And slowly, the hardness in her heart began to melt away. Time passed. Almost 9 months later, the three of them were standing in the hospital corridor when, after a short while, the doctor's voice was heard. "Congratulations, it's a baby boy." The moment the doctor confirmed that both mother and child were safe, Ayan immediately fell into sujood, thanking Allah. He was the man who had once planned to return to London, but then suddenly married Inaya. After that came his struggle to give her the rights she deserved, and then Imran Khan's sudden heart illness chained his steps to home. In the end, he said goodbye to London forever, because he could survive living in a foreign land, but he could not bear leaving his loved ones behind. After marriage, his heart no longer allowed him to leave his wife and child, so he took over his father's business instead. Holding the tiny little baby in his arms, he kept staring at the child's peaceful face, lost in deep sleep, while Inaya watched them both with tear-filled eyes. There was a unique happiness in her eyes, the happiness of becoming a mother. She smiled softly. Ayan gently laid the baby beside her and leaned down to kiss her forehead lovingly. "Thank you so much, my whole world. Now, if we just have 9 more children, life will be perfect." She burst into laughter. 9 more children? Inaya looked at him in shock, and the very next moment, both of them started laughing together. And this is where the story ends.